What if this person checks most of all these users are users? Even Christians, can still they make you feel insecure and that can be so bad. Oh, sorry. Welcome back to my podcast. Oh my god, have we started recording? Why didn't you send something? Hey, hi guys. Wow, I was super glad to be back here. Well, even though it's not pleasing right now to do this, but as usual, I'm gonna do this. So it's been a series of the toxic relationship talk, and I just want to, firstly say a shout out, or rather, give a shout out to as many as those who have been following, as many as those who have been giving feedbacks and their likes and their comments. I can't even appreciate you guys enough because you are the reason why I have continued to do this. And guys, permit me to specially call someone. And he goes by Shegun. Shegun wants this to, tease me and tell me how I was born to do this and this. Shegun has literally turned this podcast into bedtime stories. Shegun, this podcast is not it's not a bedtime stories podcast. It's not a lullaby, or how do they even pronounce it? But anyways, thank you so much. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for all this, for always encouraging me, for telling me that I can do this, for telling me that, you've literally given me enough strength and power to keep moving, and I cannot appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, everybody. So guys, today's the last day, so if you're listening to this, on a very good Friday, which is the 31st of, well, permit me to say Happy New Month, because in few hours time we would be in the month of August, and we are all trusting God that it's going to be a great month. Since the beginning of this year, it's not been easy. The pandemic, the COVID and everything, people have had to go through a lot of hardship and the rest, but we keep moving. We can't stop. We've gone too far to look back. We've gone too far to stop. And I don't know what it is that you're facing, but I'm here to tell you that God's got your back. He will never leave us. He will never forsake us. COVID-19 cannot separate us from the love of God. The hardship, the struggles, the pandemic, everything that came with this pandemic, and everything outside it, nothing can separate us from the love of God. So if you're out there and you're listening to me right now, please don't give up. Please keep moving. Please keep motivating yourself, even if you do not get external motivation. Please keep moving, because God is gonna he's gonna be there for you all through. So guys, welcome back again. I just want to say that it's the end of the series. We have come to the end of the toxic relationship talk in court. So today, it's just going to be like a recap. And if you haven't listened, to the previous episode, you should go back. Because, one thing about this topic is that it's very wide. You can't just, if we want to talk about toxic people, we can spend a whole year talking about them, because they are all around. These guys are powerful, and surprisingly, even you yourself could be toxic to someone else. You never can tell. So today's just gonna be a recap of everything, guys. We talked about the controllers, the manipulators, those people who just come into your life to control you, probably because of one thing that they have and you do not have. We talked about the users. Oh, those super guys, they just come and they are like people who hunt for their prey. Like, they literally just go into people's life to take and take and take and take and just keep taking till they drain you of everything that you have emotionally, psychologically, even it could be even, spiritually, and the rest. So we also talked about the belittlers and how, having these guys around you can do a whole lot of harm than good. These are the people that just come into your life and they downsize you, they pull you down, and they have nothing good to say about you. And in no time, you start to see yourself, as someone who can never amount to anything, and this goes a long way. This can be so much more, on the psychological part than even any other part. And one thing about we humans is that our mind controls everything. So if you can deal with your mind, if you can master your mind, you can, almost master everything around you. So that's why it's important that you do not let people get into your head. You do not let people get into your mind. People who are not supposed to get into your mind and head. You do not let people say things to you that they are not supposed to say. Don't let anybody tell you what God hasn't told you. Just belittle you and just shatter you. So these are, the basics that we talked about, and much more. You can just go back to, those episodes to listen to them. So just to continue and just to recap everything, I see a lot of people today wasting away, wasting and losing out on the good things of life, on the promises of God that He has for them, losing out on good relationships that would help, better their lives, that will take them to the next level, destiny helpers, losing out on purpose and fulfillment, really losing out on a lot of great things just because of the wrong kind of circle. I mean, that's basically what, toxic relationships are about. The wrong kind of people in your life, the wrong kind of friends, the wrong kind of partner. I don't care how in love you are with this person, but as long as it is wrong, it is wrong. And I'm like, what would it cost you to just break out and set yourself free? Nothing, actually. Though it can be hard, like we said in, one of those episodes. It can be hard, but it will cost you nothing to walk out. Instead, it would even cost you something and more if you keep staying, in that relationship. So guys, today I'm here to say that God wants you to come out. He wants to use you. He wants to see that you are happy and living the kind of life He has called you to live. He wants to see that you break limits. He wants to see you become the best of the best. He wants to see you live a victorious and successful life. And if you would ask me, I don't think you should struggle with any of those, because I think we all deserve the best. We deserve to be happy and prosperous as God has called us to be. We deserve to eat the good of the land. And you cannot do this, with the wrong kind of things around you, with the wrong kind of mindset. Because actually, God has made provisions for all of these things to happen. So I don't know, have you been controlled or manipulated all your life? Have you gotten to that point where you feel useless and there's nothing left for you? Or have you been used and dumped by everybody and anything that comes your way? And, you are now beginning to, feel that that's what you were called to do. Or have you been belittled? Have you been belittled, pulled down, downsized, been told a lot of things that has made you see yourself in certain ways you shouldn't? Have you been in relationships where you've given your all and probably would have given your life if it were asked for, but in the end, all you get is nothing to write home about? I don't know what it is that you've had to face or you are even facing right now, but this series has come to say that you can walk out. You can. You don't have to stay and die, dear people. There is more for you. There is more for all of us. There's more grounds to cover. You can create the kind of life you want to live. And not even to mention, God has so many great plans for you. He says, "For I know the thought that I have for you, thoughts of good and not of evil, thoughts to give you a hope and a future." And you know what, guys? It's really not so impossible. It's not impossible. You can break out. And that's why I'm so glad about the reviews that I got. I'm so glad that, I was talking with a friend of mine, and we got discussing, and he mentioned, he said how he had to pray off someone. He had to pray someone off his life, if that's the correct language to use. So if you can't deal with it, physically, you can take it to the spiritual, because you need to break out. You can pray people out of your life. You can go to God and talk to him, saying you don't know how to do it anymore. Please just take this person, or just take these people out of my life. I know that I have been entangled for such a long time. I know that I have had to mix up with these people for such a long time. I know that they are my friends. I know that it's now like they are now so part of my life and all of these things, or he is so part of my life now, or she is so part of my life. I feel like I'm so in love that I can't break out again, but I am not feeling this thing. You can literally pray. That's what I'm here to tell you. You can pray people out of your life. Yes, because God has to look at you and see that you can't do it by your power. God has to look at you and see that you have come to the realization, you have come to that point where you acknowledge that you can't deal with this thing by your own self again. You can't deal with this thing by your own power. So he needs to see that willingness to surrender. And this is if you cannot just walk up to the person saying, hey girl, hey guy, or hey people, I know that we've been this, I know that we've been bored, this is not going for. Or if you, in some people's case, you just silently walk away. But if you cannot silently walk away and this thing has been part of your life, see, the point here is that we need to move. We need to get to that place where we are fulfilling purpose. We need to get to that place where, we are conscious of the people around us. We need to get to that place where the people around us are, they are consciously making efforts, to be positive in our lives. So, but if you can't get to that point, that's what I'm saying. You can literally pray of. I've had to pray of people. I've had to pray to God to take people away from me. And guys, I'm not saying this because it's a very simple thing to do. I'm saying it because it can be hard. But with God, all things, we know that all things are possible. So there's something that people do not know. God is so particular about your life. He's particular about people that you move around with. He's particular about the things you say. He's particular about your declarations. He's particular about the blessings that come into your life. He's particular about the steps that you take. He's particular about every single thing. So why do you think that he is not particular about the relationships that you involve yourself in? He's so very, very particular about it. So he needs us to be guided. He needs us to know that we have to be conscious about the people that we have around us. And that's why we have to pray for the gift of men. Yes, pray for the gift of men. We probably have to do this praying for the gift of men as a single episode, so that we can understand that relationships in our lives matter. Yes, so you have to pray for people. Now, just as you're praying, if you ever get to pray someone out of your life, just as you can do that, you can also pray people into your life. Because like we've already said, man is not an island. You can't live alone. If God needs to bless you today, he would need to do that through someone. If he can't do it directly, he would need to do that through someone. He would need to do that through your friends. He would need to do that through your partner. He would need to do that through the people that you hang around with. But if he comes and he's like, oh, I have a blessing for you, and then he looks around and he finds no way, he finds no penetration, he finds no path that that he can use to channel that blessings to you, he's probably just going to wait, or probably just going to, I don't know, should we say give it to someone else, or I don't know what would happen. But he needs people around you to be able to do what he has called you to do. He needs people. You would need people to fulfill destiny, guys. You would need people to fulfill purpose. You would need people to, climb to greater heights. You would need people. God, we need people for. That's why he has created humans. You understand? That's why he created all of us in one particular environment. So, guys, not to talk too much or not to say so much. The point here is being conscious about the people in your lives. I don't care who they are. The point here is being conscious. Remember how that in our last episode we talked about, how that bad communication corrupts good morals. That might not be exactly what it is right now, but you can't be, in the wrong kind of company and still excel. Oh, you might say, oh, I'm very strong and everything, but everything has a limit. It's going to get you one day, whether you like it or not. So again, guys, if you are here and you've been facing any of this situation, it could even be worse than this. Sometimes it might even be more spiritual than it is physical. Yes, please, you can break out. I have broken out a good number of times. I have broken out, and I know people who have broken out. You can break out. Your case is not a supernatural one that cannot be solved. You can break out. You can break out of that relationship. You can break out of that circle. You can break out of that. I don't know what it is, but you can break out. So if you have never been conscious about the people or conscious of the people that you hang around with, the people in your life, the people who you call your friends or who you call, those who you're dating and the rest, today, guys, start being conscious about it. And if you're here and probably you're not into a relationship and you're hoping to get into one, you should look out for this. I'm not saying you have to go shine your eyes, go saying, oh, you are this, oh, you are that, but you should probably look out for these guys, because it is so very important and will go a long way to serving you. So you should probably look out for these people, dot all your I's and cross all your T's, because God is particular about you. I really do hope that this has and will go a long way for someone out there. And again, we have come to the end of toxic relationship talk in court. So I want to again and again say a very big thank you to all of those that have reached out. Thank you for your likes and comments and everything. It's really been massive for me, guys. It's really been massive. Don't forget that you can listen to all of this release on any of your favorite podcast app, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Breaker app, and lots more. Yeah, something is cooking, guys. So do expect exciting, fun, life-changing, and real-time topics from more episodes to come. And until then, guys, keep staying safe. Calvary greetings. Peace.
All the same in the world.